Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is September 30th, 2015, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic calendar, we got chock full of nuts. We got a bunch of numbers coming out of GBP today. And then the U.S., we have non-farm payroll today. It's a preliminary number, so it's not Friday's number. And then we have Yellen speaking today at 9 p.m. South African time. So a lot's going on today in terms of the news, and this is always correlating. This happens to be always correlating as things are coming to a certain threshold. Looking at the Euro USD, not much action yesterday, as you can see, pretty much flatlined since last night, within a 10 pip rate, 6-7 pip move. That's not much. So you can see we're pretty much in the middle of the range. Okay, a little bit on if this was another threshold. Okay, which it could be, because we had this upper level right here. We're testing it right here. We had a little bit of a support here and a support here. So, all in all, like if you look at this, okay, if you look at this overall chart, this daily chart, you see that we're right in the middle. With an extremity on the 111 side and an extremity on the 114 side. Okay, we broke this 116, but no follow through. And this was much to do more with the Dow Jones tanking and the indices internationally tanking than anything else. So is this back to normal, so to speak? Well, we'll see. I mean, this is really when trading really kicks in. More for the indices than the currency pairs. Currency pairs usually trade, longer time frames over the year. But all in all, we're in the middle of this range. Not much to say about the Euro USD besides, if it does start to sell off, maybe we'll test this 111 again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll break higher, and then we'll go up to 114. This is a scalper's dream. These big bars that you see is meant for scalpers, because volatility is where you can, get in quick, get out quick, and just make your quick bucks. And you could do it with size. I would say the past couple of weeks, it's been kind of choppy. It hasn't really had any major, bars here. You can see that it traded in a range, but, nothing really, that stands out in terms of, some sort of trading. But again, we're in the middle of the range right here. So, at this stage, we could hit this 114 or we could test this 111. So in the interim, I'd keep an eye on it just to see what's going to happen with the dollar towards the end of the week with the ADP non-farm payroll number that's going to come out, and that has a big bearing. Okay, that really does have a big bearing. The other currency pair we really need to note is the USD ZAR, the Rand. Okay, the Rand, as you well know, every time you're depositing money into CMTrading, you see that your account isn't as large, and that's because the Rand has really gotten depreciated over the past, I would say, 3 years. Okay, we depreciated from 8 to 14. And we hit this 14 level just the other day, 14.13, and we just touched it, and we keep on touching higher and higher. To say that it's, that we've faulted this a double top, who's to say, okay? It does trade quite light, so, getting in and out is a little bit more challenging because it's not a major pair. But, every time it does, come in, you could actually hedge yourself against the ZAR. So if you do live in a currency that's under the base currency of a ZAR, you could short the ZAR against the dollar and make your money backwards. I mean, if you're just living domestically, and you're not buying products from overseas in South Africa, then you're not so much affected. However, if you are buying goods and services overseas, that is obviously affected by the Rand, the depreciation of the Rand. Looking at gold here. Gold sold off yesterday, well, probably justifiably. I mean, I still think gold should be at 1,000, but you see that it's, we're making lower highs. Okay, as you can see here, here we see, this is 1, 2. I still think we should be at 1,000. Let's see if there's going to be follow through. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that the dollar is a complete. That the dollar is completely forgotten and that the Dow Jones has done its time. I was a little bit more convinced before, But looking at some of the stocks, they're not really following through. And this is the Dow Jones, obviously, with this whopping, tankage right here from 18,000 to 16,000, which is a major fall. I mean, I mentioned this the other day. If you remember last year in October, we had this V formation right here. As you can see right here, this V formation, which was also a very extreme move. We went about 2,000 points. That's not the case here, okay? Because this is people booking their money out of, it going from about 12,000 to about 17,000. This is a legitimate sell-off because we had, 1, 2, 3, almost 4, tops here that we couldn't break higher from 18,500, okay? Which I said that we should, okay? Things quote unquote should follow through, but as you can see, it didn't. We tested it again right here at 18,000, 18,050, and then we just tanked. Okay, we tanked so far that we went to 15,300, which was an extreme move. To say that we're at justifiably at 16,000 vis-a-vis the stock, yeah, we are. Something called relative strength. We may get into that in this next webinar that we'll be presenting Thursday night. And then, so we're at a legitimate support here. So, this is exactly what I was talking about before, where Yellen is going to be speaking today. ADP number, non-farm payroll coming out on Friday. We're at a certain threshold. This could be a turnaround, or we may just, fall down and see the next level at 14,000, 14,500-ish level. So, it really pays to see what's going on in the markets and really pay attention this week, because I think it's going to be a very decisive week. Looking at oil also, as you can see here, I mentioned this before, we made lower highs here, 48, 47. I mean, it just looks weak. Okay, there's nothing really catapulting this back into the $50 range, and I think we're going to test this $37 again, and that might propel the U.S. economy. It's an economy that's filled with goods and services. It's a very consumer-related economy, the United States, and we might see an upsurge in the Dow. Let's see. Okay, I don't like to make predictions like this. I'm still very bearish on the Dow, but altogether. Looking at the DAX, same story. Okay, so if we look at the major indices across the board, we'll see some of the same story, that we're hitting certain thresholds. So, for you guys that are new to trading, this might not mean a lot to you, but this is a major level right here. Okay, looking at it right here, this is a few times we hit this support line right here. We hit it in 2013, February 2014. We hit it in July of 2014, and then again in November 2014, and now we're coming very close to it. So this is more a graph that I'm used to seeing, in terms of a big run up and then a big sell off. So it's kind of interesting to see that by the Dow Jones we actually had a triple top or quadruple top, and here you just had went to its highs and then it just sold off, and then lower highs here and then completely sold off. To say that we're going to continue selling off, what's the catalyst? Okay, I'm not so sure. Okay, yeah, over the years, has it made a big run up? Yes. Does it justifiably mean that it needs to go down? Not necessarily. So again, it is a trader's market right now, number one. Number two, I'd look for opportunities in the currency pairs that are trading this week, the Euro USD, obviously, the GBP USD. I definitely look at the indices that we've mentioned, the Dow, the DAX, and there are several different time frames that you could trade them. So, keep an eye out. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading, and I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.